Welcome to Live Your Best Midlife. I'm your host, Jill Lewis. Join me for inspiring pep talks and expert interviews as we explore staying active, feeling great, and embracing midlife adventures. Whether you're an empty nester, a pickleball enthusiast, or just ready to rediscover your vibrant self, this podcast is for you. Let's make our mid-years our best years. Now, on to the show. Welcome back to the podcast. This is your host, Jill Lewis, and you are listening to Live Your Best Midlife. I'm so pumped that you're here today. And today's a solo episode, but I want to talk to you. It's going to be a bit of a pep talk. I love to give you some of my pep talks, so it won't be too crazy long, but I want to talk about what's going on in society with the skinny, I like to call it the heroin chic look that has unfortunately come back into style. It's interesting if you have been around for a while, or I guess you're getting older when you see the trends come back, right? I guess for some of you that might have remembered, like when Twiggy, was that her name? What's her name? They call her Twiggy. Remember that model that back in the 70s? Just so crazy skinny. And then in the 90s, when I was in college, it felt like we were back into that, what we call the heroin chic look. What was her name? Kate Moss was super, super popular model, just so skinny. And I think it's interesting. It's coming around again. And I think we all know why, but that's what I'm going to be getting into today. And I really want to leave you today with a message that the focus really needs to be on strength over getting skinny. Because if you can take this mindset shift of losing weight instead and start thinking about how you want to get strong, it's going to make every part of your life better. Because you're going to start looking at eating healthy and working out in a much more positive light than the negativity of constantly being mad at yourself that you're not the size that you think that you need to be, or if you've got fat to lose on your body, that it's not coming off as quickly as you want. But when you start to reframe it and start thinking about getting strong, it will happen. The side effect of getting strong is that you will lose fat, and you're going to be doing it in a much safer, much more controlled way. And you're going to be so proud of yourself. Imagine yourself at 75 and 80 years old. You're going to be like, thank you. Thank you, younger self, for doing this for me. So let's start with what is happening in culture. For the past decade or so, we actually saw a little bit of a break from that heroin chic look, that skinny body ideal that I keep bringing up. Curves were definitely celebrated more. Strength and athleticism, I think, were celebrated more. But then boom, enter the GLP-1 medications. I have done a whole episode about GLP-1 medications, so go back and check that out. I was actually offered multiple times. I get, just from being on the Instagram and doing what I do, I have so many companies that'll reach out to me and want me to be an affiliate for their organization, for their business, promote their business, and get paid to do that. I'm pretty particular about the companies that I partner with. Like, I partner with my Equip brand of the Prime protein powder. It's my favorite. I'm happy to do it because I believe in it. It's a good product. It tastes delicious, those kinds of things. But for this GLP-1 medication, it felt so sleazy and so slimy to do that. So I did a whole episode about that. So you can go check that out. With these GLP-1 medications, suddenly all of the headlines are about celebrities and influencers losing massive amounts of weight. And that has brought skinny back into the spotlight. Even Serena Williams, the incredible athlete that she is, and Serena Williams is talking about it. But dig a little bit deeper, you'll realize she's got a personal interest in this particular company that she is talking about. And her husband is an investor in that company. So you can always follow the dollar signs on all of these things. But here's what's tough. For a lot of people, these medications do work for weight loss. They reduce appetite, they slow digestion. That grosses me out, but people are eating less. The pounds are falling off of those individuals. And if you've ever struggled with your weight, like most women I know, it is hard to not feel that pull. even if you don't have a lot of weight to lose. I get that. But here's the other side of the story. Many people on these medications are not just losing fat, they are losing muscle. They're not necessarily fueling their bodies with enough nutrients or protein. And when they stop taking the medications, the weight regain is common. It often comes back as fat and not muscle. So we're seeing people get smaller, but not necessarily healthier. Am I right? And for midlife women who are already fighting natural muscle loss and bone density changes, that's a real dangerous trade-off, in my opinion. Here's something that really makes me raise an eyebrow. Before GLP-1 medications, every doctor, every registered dietitian, every health professional would tell you, don't undereat, don't slash calories too low, and don't lose weight too quickly because it's not sustainable. It wrecks your metabolism and you'll just gain it back. That was the standard advice for decades. And honestly, that's not wrong. They weren't wrong. But now that there's a pharmaceutical involved, crickets. No one's raising the same red flags about rapid weight loss, even though the risks are still there. Muscle loss, nutrient deficiencies, bone loss, rebound weight gain. I can't be the only one to think that this feels incredibly fishy to me. It's almost like the rules have changed because there's money, serious money on the table. And as women, I just feel, you should feel, we need to be aware of this. We can't let a cultural trend or a prescription slip redefine what is actually healthy for our bodies. Now, again, go back and listen to that other podcast because I'm not anti GLP-1 medications at all. I just think we need some awareness about this. Okay. So this is where I really just want us to pause and go, do I really want skinny? Do I want strong? Because they're not the same thing. And you know what's interesting? Our culture has been on this roller coaster with body image for decades. For me in my lifetime, I think like in the 90s and the early 2000s, it was all about that heroin chic, the smaller the better. Then we swung as this happened. So you'll have one extreme to the next. So just keep this in mind. We swung hard the other way then. The rise of body positivity were a reaction to that. And in many ways, it was refreshing. It did give women permission to stop hating themselves because they just weren't a size 2, which is crazy, right? But let's be honest. In some corners, that body positivity went so far that it felt like health didn't matter at all. And that drove me crazy as well. It was like if you pointed out the risks of obesity, that I was shaming somebody, that was a hard thing to do on social media in the last, I would say, 6 years or so, that you couldn't point out anyone's obesity because it was like you were body shaming them. And that's not it at all. It was more about just, we got to be healthy here. So now with the GLP-1 medications, that pendulum is swinging back hard. Skinny is suddenly aspirational. Celebrities showing up half their size. It's all over the media like it is 1998 again. Here is the problem. Neither extreme is the answer. Chasing skinny isn't health, but pretending that health doesn't matter isn't a solution either. And that's why I think midlife is actually the perfect season to reframe the conversation, because we know better now. We've lived through both of these extremes and we can choose something smarter, which is strong. Okay. Let's talk about strong. When I say strong, I don't just mean lifting heavy weights at the gym, although yes, that is definitely a part of it. Strength that shows up in your everyday life. Strong is being able to carry your groceries without making more than 2 trips, right? Strong is picking up your grandkids without worrying about your back. Strong is walking into a pickleball game knowing you can hang for 2 hours, loving every minute. Strong is looking at a flight of stairs and not thinking twice about it. Strong is going on a major hike with your family, not being worried about it at all. Strong is freedom. Strong is independence. And here's the other part.
Strong changes your body composition in a way that skinny never can. Muscle is metabolically active. What does that mean? That means that the more muscle you have, the more the more calories your body burns just sitting here. Okay? Muscle protects your bones and your joints. I hear so many times about people with bad knees, and I'm like, you still have to find some strength training exercises to protect your joints. Muscle improves balance and coordination, which reduces falls and injuries as we age. And muscle helps regulate hormones and your blood sugar. Let's be real here. Most of us do care how we look in the mirror. I know I do. As photos, the mirror, whatever. Wanting to feel good in your jeans or love how you look in a photo is absolutely valid. Okay. I have pride. I have great pride in my appearance, and I don't have an issue with that. I don't think it's anything that's overly extreme, but I was given this body and I'm going to take care of it. And I want it to look good. So here's a difference though. When you focus on strong, the mirror usually takes care of itself.
It's no secret that my very favorite protein powder in the marketplace is Prime Protein. Why do I like it so much? Well, one, it tastes amazing. I am loving the chocolate and the iced coffee flavors. Those two are my favorites. But grass-fed protein is the new way. So why grass-fed beef over whey or any other plant-based protein powder? Well, beef protein is packed with the collagen, gelatin, and micronutrients that your body needs. They work to repair your joints and soft tissues like plant protein won't. And studies have shown that beef protein provides additional benefits to strength, hypertrophy, and fat loss over whey. Simply put, more beef protein equals faster workout recovery, all-day energy, feeling full for hours, and better skin, bone, and hair health. You can go to today's show notes for the link to order your Prime Protein and use the code JILL for 15% off your first order.
Building muscle shapes your body in a way that skinny never can. You get definition, you feel your clothes out differently, and your posture improves. Here's something else that no one says out loud, but we all think about. Muscle makes you look better naked, period, end of story. One time, I think it was JJ Virgin, who is an author. If you're in my industry at all, you've heard of JJ Virgin. And she describes muscle, it's like you're wearing Spanx. Okay. Muscle just holds everything in tighter. It's smoother. It's more lifted. So think about your muscle as like your internal Spanx. It's true. Muscle gives your body shape. It fills things out in the right places. It pulls things in where you want them pulled in. So if you want to love the way that you look in your clothes and fill them out, muscle is your best friend. Skinny might make you smaller, but strong makes you sculpted. And remember, it's a trend. Okay. What you're seeing right now, it's a trend. We've been here before. So I want you to think of it like this. Do you want, when it comes to skinny versus strong, do you want the body, or when you look at, and I hate to compare people, but I'm going to, if you look at the body of an Olympic sprinter, or you look at the body of an Olympic distance, like a long distance runner? No shame to these long distance runners, because I could never do what they do. But aesthetically speaking, because that's what we're talking about here, there is no question that I think we would all prefer that sprinter's body, which has muscle, right? Remember, strong isn't about giving up on how you look. It's about upgrading it. It's about the lean, the tone, the confident version of you that doesn't just look good in pictures, but it also has energy and stamina to enjoy life. So yes, we want to love what we see in the mirror, but we also want that reflection to represent health, vitality, and strength, not just a smaller number on the scale. Something else to think about, muscle. When I see someone that has muscle, like a female, especially has muscle on her body, I'm like, oh, she wasn't given that. That she earned that. There's just a sense of pride that comes with it. I'll share just a quick little story here. Back in the day, because I worked in a gym for a long time, and my workouts were all about forcing like calorie burn. It was all about how many calories I'm burning. The more sweaty, the better. And if I was actually lifting weights, I had to be doing something else. So if I worked out with a partner and say we were doing like supersets or whatever, or if we were just doing one exercise at a time, like I could not rest in between. So if she was doing chest presses, then by gosh, I was next to her doing crunches or like jogging in place, doing jumping jacks, doing air squats. Like I was doing all kinds of crazy stuff because God forbid that I just stand there and allow my muscles to recover. But no, I had to actually be doing stuff to be burning calories while I'm waiting for my next turn at that exercise. I was doing circuit training, just jumping from one exercise to the next, no rest at all. So for me, the turning point came when I realized that my hardest workouts weren't changing my body in the way that I wanted, which made it was blowing my mind that I was working out so hard all the time and getting so depleted and so tired. But when I started fueling my body properly and lifting weights strategically, the results were night and day. My jeans fit different, my energy shot up. I actually looked forward to like I didn't just think about my workouts as work. I actually enjoyed them. And I started turning my cardio into things that I really enjoyed. So it all just became so much more of a positive experience. But let's talk about you. How do you actually want to make this mindset shift that skinny isn't better than strong? So how can we do that? That we want to shift from that skinny mentality to a strong mentality. So here are 3 ways, because I want you to remember in the back of your head, the side effect of getting strong is that you're going to lean out and get the look that you want. Okay. Again, it's going to be in a much more positive way. So let's go over 3 ways that you can do this. I want you to start changing what you measure. Instead of obsessing over your scale, get rid of it for a while and start tracking things like how many push-ups can you do? How much weight can you lift for squats or deadlifts? How long can you hold a plank? How is your energy throughout the day? These are the metrics that actually tell you something about your health and your progress. Okay. So what if you started tracking that instead of the number on the scale? Number 2, let's adjust your training. If all you are doing is cardio, you are burning calories and not necessarily building strength. I want you to think about it. What, if you're doing like a long form cardio, what are you training for? Are you training for endurance? Okay, great. But if your goal, okay, so I'm talking to you, if your goal is to lose fat, it's not about becoming the best endurance athlete that you can be. Maybe for some of you that is. And if you want to be an endurance athlete, fantastic. Keep doing you. And I'm sure you're doing great. And but that's a different conversation. I'm talking to you if you're wanting to lose weight and you're just running all the time or whatever your long form cardio is, cool if you want to be an endurance athlete. But if your goal is to lose fat and look better in clothes, then I want you to swap in 2 to 3 strength workouts, do like 3 strength training sessions a week. And these don't have to be, we're not talking like hour, 2-hour gym marathons. We're talking 30 minutes of intentional lifting. Keep doing the cardio because I get it. Like sometimes cardio just mentally, I've never gone for a walk. And when I walk, I'm not like strolling. I'm getting after it. But when I go for a walk, I'm always in a better, more elevated mood when I get back. So I totally understand. People talk about the runner's high and all of that, but I just think you really do need to incorporate this strength training. So add in the strength training and make it only about lifting heavy for you. Okay. Everyone's got a different definition of what is heavy for them because we're all starting at different places, ages, whatever, but lift heavy for you. And it's not about trying to fit in 50,000 things in that workout. You're very focused. It's very intentional. Okay. Number 3, fuel for strength. This is where protein comes in, and we'll dive deeper on this in another episode because I think it's super important to understand it. But I'll say this, if you want to be strong, you have to eat to support muscle, not starve yourself into skinny. And here's the mental piece. Every time that you are tempted to chase skinny, whether it's like a number, like on the like a clothing size on a tag, or a photo on social media, or just the lure of a quick fix, ask yourself, what would choosing strong look like right now? Maybe it's eating a balanced meal instead of skipping. Okay. Instead of just skipping and like living off of popcorn and diet soda. Like I've done that before. Maybe it's grabbing your weights instead of another marathon session of cardio. Maybe it is celebrating the fact that you can lift your suitcase into the overhead bin without help. I'm telling you that I love the independence of that. I love it when a man asks if they can help because it's so nice, and I love chivalry. But I also love to say, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much, but no, I got it." And then boom, look at these guns. I got that thing up there. I love helping other people around me to get them up there. So here's where I want to leave you today. The world may be shouting skinny is back, but you don't have to buy into it. Again, it's a trend. What's your goal here? Your goal here is like you're in midlife, and that means you have the wisdom and the freedom to decide what success looks like for you. So the goal is to lose fat, look better in your clothes, live a very fun, sustainable lifestyle. I don't know about you, but I like going out to dinner. I like enjoying foods. I like eating enough protein that at night I no longer have these like weird cravings. I'm not going to raid the pantry because I've actually had enough fuel through the day. I like being able to sleep really good. I like that I don't have any digestion issues. I like that my lifestyle isn't going to potentially give me some kind of digestion issues, some kind of stomach problem that might not be reversible. You know what I'm saying? I believe success looks like being strong physically, mentally, and emotionally. That's the bottom line. So this week, I want you to set one strength goal, just one. Okay. Maybe it's adding 5 pounds to your dumbbells. Maybe it's walking with better posture. Maybe it's fueling with protein at every meal. Here's the truth. Strong will beat skinny every single time. And the side effect of you working on getting strong is that you are going to lean out and you're going to get the body that you wanted anyway. And you're going to do it in a much more fun, empowering way. So we're not trying to shrink ourselves, ladies. We're trying to get healthy and let the muscle on our body do what it's supposed to do. Give you a better metabolism. It's going to make you look better. It's going to make you feel better. And you're going to age so much better. Let's think about like your future as well. So if this resonated with you, share it with a friend who's caught up in the skinny trap. Let's spread the message that strong truly is the new beautiful. I appreciate you being here so much. If you have any questions, hey, reach out to me on Instagram. I would love to hear from you. I'm at Jill B. Lewis, and you have a great day.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Live Your Best Midlife. If you enjoyed today's episode, please hit that follow button. And if you want to help more people discover my podcast, I'd be so grateful if you could take a moment to leave a rating and a review. Your feedback not only brightens my day, but it helps others to find my show. And if you're craving some more behind the scenes action, follow me on TikTok at Jill Lewis Living or on Instagram at Jill B. Lewis.